Hello everyone, my name is Zamal and this is lesson 3 of Homeschooling Maths with Lolak.
Hi.
Alright then guys, let's do a quick revision session and then we will, after the quick revision session, we will move on to lesson 3. Lesson 3 is going to be huge and I just want to give you a heads up, okay? Let me talk about something because I think this is very important. Don't be discouraged if you don't understand everything in the video, because the way I teach, it's more of a journey. It's not lesson by lesson, or you know in school the way if you go in and you don't understand the first lesson, that's it. Like you have to keep going and revising until you can move on. And this process is more of a journey, okay? So don't be discouraged if you don't understand anything. Just keep on watching. Just stay with me and I promise we'll get there together. Okay, he's not a smart kid, I promise. He's only been taught what has been taught already in public school. That's the only thing he knows. And as long as you're at year 4, year 5, or just struggling with your GCSEs, or just in year whatever, anything from above year 4, you're good. Okay, so you're fine. So you can watch these videos, and as long as you take at least 40% away from whatever our lesson is, our session is, you're okay. Just keep on watching the videos. We constantly revise. And we're good. So let's quickly revise. Let's do quick revision. What's x plus 3 equals 7? Now, before you give me an answer, just a quick revision. We have an equation. This is called an equation, and in an equation we have a question side and an answer side, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, Lolak, watch, you need to concentrate. With the question side, if we want to solve for x, if we want to know what this x is, of course you can see right now what it is. You can just work out in your head. You can just say 4 plus 3 equals 7. So you know what x is. We use letters in maths whenever we want to find out the unknown, or it basically it means a letter, okay? X, it could be X, it could be A, it could be B, or whatever. I'm just repeating stuff from previous lessons so we can catch up a bit. So we need to do this algebraically, right? So how do we do that? We need X by itself on the question side.
Yeah.
So how can we do that? Well, if we do X plus 3 minus 3, that equals 7 minus 3. The reason why we have a minus 3 on this side, if you remember, whatever we do to this side, we must do to the other side, to the answer side. Right? So now we got x plus 3 minus 3 equals 7 minus 3. I've ordered new pens, they're coming. So, sorry if the ink is a bit weak. So now you got x plus 3 minus 3 plus 3 minus 3. Well, let's just quickly look on the number line. If 3 is here, that's positive, and 0 is here, minus 3 will be around here, right? Sorry, I don't know why I wrote that. But anyway, 3 is here, 0 is here. The positive 3 is here. And if we go back 2 steps, so 2 will be there, 1 will be there. So if we go back 3 steps, notice we get 0. So positive 3, take away 3 will now just leave us with x plus 0. I hope you understood that number line bit. So now we got x plus 0 equals 7 minus 3. Well, 7 minus 3 is just 4. So how we got from here to here, we just broke it down a little bit. And there's no point putting x plus 0 here. There's no 0 means nothing. So you get an x and you're adding nothing to it. So there's no difference in just writing x equals 4. How do you know if x equals 4? Well, we just plug it into our original equation. Remember, Lolak?
Yeah.
So now we don't have to rub our working out. But I like to anyway, because I get more space. So now we can just plug this into there. Well, x equals 4. So we can replace this x with 4. 4 plus 3 just does give you 7. Okay? One more example for the revision, and then we move on to our next topic. We got x minus 10 equals 19. Right? So what do we do, Lolak?
Try to get x by itself by doing x minus 10.
Minus 10
plus 10 equals,
plus 10
equals 19 plus 10.
equals 19 plus 10. So whatever we do to this side, we must do
To
to the other side. So now we have,
Now we have x by itself.
so x minus 10 plus 10 just gives you plus 0,
So
or minus 0, but I'm just going to skip that bit.
yeah, equals to 29.
29. You know the bit with the minus 10 plus 10 gives you 0? I didn't write minus 0 equals 29. Okay? I just wrote x equals 29. Isn't that much quicker than, you know? So x equals
To 29.
29. So how do we check if we're correct?
You plug it into the
Our
answer.
original equation. So x equals 29. So if x equals 29, we can replace this x with 29. So now we've got 29 minus 10 equals,
equals 19.
and indeed that's correct. So that's how we check if we were correct, if we were right. Okay, that's revision done. Okay, that's for revision. Let's move on. Okay, guys. Look, we're going to go into lesson 3 now. And I'm not going to lie, lesson 3 is hella hard. It's really, really hard. And he's only in year 4, Lolak. For those who are watching, I'm guessing I'm going to say that these videos are only suitable for people above the age of 9. Kids from the age of 9 to 16, these videos are suitable for you. I'm going to say one thing. My videos, if you watch them, it's a journey. It's about the end goal. Okay? I'm going to practice along with you. These lessons I teach in not a unique way, but in a different way, where it's about the journey. So even if you don't understand lesson 2, it's okay. We'll keep on revising it and eventually you'll get it. So if you walk away from this lesson not understanding much, it's okay. Just come to lesson 4 and you'll be okay. We're going to go through it again. So don't be overwhelmed or don't be too, sad if you can't get it. If you walk away understanding at least 40% from this lesson or from any other lesson, I'm happy. It's cool. And Yusuf's the same. Or Lolak, sorry. I don't expect him to understand everything, but I'm going to go over it again in lesson 4. So it's about the journey, and our journey is to A-level maths.
Lesson 3.
Oh, sorry. No. I'm saying I'm going to go over this stuff in lesson 4 again.
Oh.
So whatever I teach today, I'm going to go over again in lesson 4. And even when we're down to lesson 7, I'll be repeating things from lesson 1. So don't be discouraged if you don't understand it. We'll get there together. Our challenge is to teach this 9-year-old boy A-level maths. And he's probably forgot. He's going to forget and over. He's going to forget over and over again. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And I'll keep repeating things. Don't worry. It's not going to be. This is not lesson by lesson. It's about the journey. So tune in every day. Come to the lessons. And we'll go through this together. We'll get to our goal together. So lesson 3. It's going to be a big one. This one's going to be tough. It's because there's so many things we need to know before we can get into the actual topic. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is fractions. What is a fraction? Give me an example of a fraction. You've seen fraction at schools, right?
Yeah.
So give me an example of a fraction. Why are you tired for?
I'm not. I'm just bored. 1/2.
You're bored?
Yeah.
Wow, bro. So give me an example of a fraction.
1/2.
1/2.
Yeah.
Yeah? That pen is way too light. Let me switch it. 1/2. Yeah?
Yeah.
What does 1/2 mean? It actually means 1 divided by 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Yusuf, let me teach and then I'll ask you questions, okay? So 1/2, let me just be with the people who are watching first. So 1/2 equals 1 divided by 2. So this, in maths, whenever we want to show if something is the same as, we put this line. Yeah? So this is the same as 1 divided by 2, right? Okay? So this just means equivalent. So I could say this is equivalent to this. Do you get it? Like they're the same thing basically. And we do that extra line to the equal sign. And another fraction. Give me another fraction. 2/3. That is the same thing as saying 2 divided by 3. I'm not sure if you guys know this already, but that's what fractions are. It's saying get 2 and divide it by 3. That's why we say 2/3. Why is that important? Because if I tell you x over 3, I want you to see it as x divided by 3. I don't want you to see it as a fraction. Okay, it is a fraction, but for now, I want you to just see this as x divided by 3. Or if I write 3 over x, this is the same as saying 3 divided by x. I hope that's understood. Okay, let's go on to the next part. Just to repeat it, because I really want you guys to get it. 2 over 5. You see this as a fraction. Or 5 over 2. 2 over 5 means 2 divided by 5. 5 over 2 is the same as saying 5 divided by 2. I hope this is proper understood, because it's important. Okay, now. I just want to quickly revise simplifying fractions. I'm not sure if you've done it before, but if you have or you haven't, it's not going to make a difference, because I'm going to teach it again now. How to simplify a fraction. Do you know what factors are? For example, what are the factors of 10? Do you know?
5 times 2.
Yeah. So factors are like, how can we get 10? So we can do 1 times 10. We can do 2 times 5. And then 5 times 2 again. But let's not repeat this because, 10. These are actually the factors. But if you notice, 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5, but just flip. And 10 times 1 is the same as 1 times 10. So we don't really need the last 2. So these are the factors. 1, 2, 5, and 10. These are the factors of 10. If we write the factors of 20, right? We got 1 times 20.
10 times 2.
2 times 5. Sorry, 2 times 10.
10 times 2.
So 2 times 10. We got 5 times 4. Right?
Yeah.
Actually, technically. So the factors of 20 are 1 times 20, 2 times 20, 4 times
20?
Sorry. The factors of 20 are 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Yeah? We got, and the rest are repeated, aren't they? Because then you'll get 5 times 4, which is the same thing as this. You'll get 10 times 2, which is the same thing as this, but just flip. And you got 20 times 1, which is the same as this. Right? So these are the factors of 20. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Right? So let's just write the factors of 10 down. It's 1, 2, 5, and 10, right? These are the factors of 10.
And 20.
And the factors of 20 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. These are the factors of 20. Right? And this stuff is very important for simplifying fractions. Because I'm going to give you a fraction of 10 over 20. I want to simplify this. But how? We have to look for factors. We have to look for factors that are both common. The top of a fraction is called the numerator. Yeah? And the bottom is called the denominator. So numerator, it's okay if you can't see it, and the denominator. Okay? So the top is called the numerator and the bottom is called the denominator. And the thing is, if we want to simplify this, we have to look for what's both common in the numerator and the denominator. For factors, we have to look for common factors. And we always look for the highest common factor. What do I mean by that? Watch. What are the factors of 10 and 20? What do they have in common? They both have 1 in common. They both have 2 in common.
Both have 5.
And they both have 5 in common, don't they?
And 10.
And they actually even have 10 in common. So both 1, 2, 5, and 10, 1, 2, 5, and 10 are both common in the factors of 10 and 20. But we're looking for the highest factor. And the highest factor is 10. Do you see that? Yeah?
Yeah.
So now we ask ourselves, how many 10s go in the numerator? How many 10s go into 10?
1.
1. How many 10s go into 20?
2.
2, because 2 times 10 gives you 20. So 2 10s went into 20 and 1 10 went into 10. Because look, 1 times 10 and 2 times 10. So this is the same thing as 1 over 2. 10 over 20 is equivalent to 1 over 2. I'll prove it to you. I don't really need to, but if you guys have a calculator, okay, just accept my word for it. If you want to test it, go to the calculator. if you write, remember 10 over 2 means 10 divided by 20. Let's not forget that from the first bit we've done. 10, sorry, my pens. So 10 over 20 is the same thing as 10 divided by 20, right? And 1 over 2 is the same thing as 1 divided by 2, right? So if you go in your calculator and write 10 divided by 20, you will get 0.5. And if you go to the calculator and you write 1 divided by 2, again you will get 0.5. So if you write 10 divided by 20, you'll get 0.5. And if you write 1 divided by 2, you'll get 0.5. Go and just test it on your calculator. Right? I've got a calculator right here. I'm going to write 10 divided by 20. You can see it there. 10 divided by 20 equals 0.5. Yeah? You see that? And if you do 1 divided by 2, you get again 0.5. I'm just trying to stress the fact that 10 over 20 is equivalent to 1 over 2. Okay, let's talk some more about this subject. So let's rub this all out. Let's do some more simplifying fractions. Now you might be thinking, you're cover yourself. You might be thinking, sit up. You might be thinking, you're trying to teach a child A-level maths, but he doesn't know how to simplify fractions. It's okay. Watch, we'll get there. Let's do a bit more simplifying fractions. What is 9 over 3 simplified? Actually, no, let's do... What is 3 over 9 simplified? Well, let's do the factors of 3 and 9. Remember, in order to simplify a fraction, we need to look for the highest common factor between the numerator and the denominator. In order to find out the highest common factor between the two, we must know what the actual factors are. So the factors of 3 are 1 times 3 and 3 times 1, right?
Yeah.
So the factors are 1 and 3. The factors of 9 are 1 times 9, 3 times 3. Right? So what's common between 3 and 9?
They both have 3.
They both have a 3 as a common factor. Because if we list the factors of 3, it's 1 and 3. That's it. If we list the factors of 9, it's 1, 3 and 9. And they both have 3 in common. And it's the highest one too. They both have 1 in common as well, but it's 3 is a bigger number than 1. And we're always looking for the biggest number when we're simplifying fractions, the biggest factor that is common. So how many 3's go into 3? 1, because 1 times 3, right?
Yeah.
So now you got 3. Sorry, how many 3's go into 3?
1.
1. How many 3's go into 9?
3.
3, because 3 times 3. So that is equivalent to... So we ask ourselves how many 3's go... So 3 is the most common factor, right? It's the highest common factor. So we ask ourselves how many 3's go into 3? 1. How many 3's go into 9? 3. I just want to sidetrack. Just for those... now, when I was in school, I always used to not understand when someone used to say, how many 5's go into 25? I never understood that. I knew that 5 times 5 equals 25. I knew that. But whenever someone asked me how many 5's go into 20 or 25, I used to get confused because of the wording. All it means, if I ask you how many 3's go into 9, yeah? How many 3's go into 9? Let's check. 3, 6, 9. 3 3's go into 9. How many 5's go into 25? Let's check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 5 5's go into 25. Okay? Alright. I never understood that. I didn't understand it until I was like in year 9 or something.
What?
Yeah, that's right. So, again, just to repeat the point, if I ask you how many 5's go into 30, well, let's check. How many 5's go into 30? So if we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 5's go into 30. Okay. Bit weird, bit hard, but whatever. I'm sure you guys got it. All right, now we know how to simplify fractions. I just want to test Yusuf real quick if he's here. 7 over 42. Could you simplify that for me? Just talk to me. Just talk to me.
5.
Yeah, 7 over 42. Could you simplify it for me?
If I 106.
Yeah, that's right. 1 over 6. Well done. 7 over 42 is the same as
1 over 6.
1 over 6. Very well done. How did he do it? Well, talk to me.
Cause I knew.
Loud, remember?
I knew cause there's. Oh, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is hard to explain, isn't it? Isn't it? So you got 7 over 42. First, you have to look for the highest common factor between the numerator and denominator. The highest common factor, in order to find out what's common in between them, we have to actually find out what are the factors of 7. So factors of 7. You got 1 times 7.
7 times 1.
But there's no point writing 7 times 1 again, is there?
Yeah, because it's just.
Yeah. We can write it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really make a difference. So if we list the factors, you got 1 and 7. Right?
Yeah.
So these are the factors of 7. Now if we write the factors of 42, you got 1 times 42. 2 times 21. Right?
Yeah.
Then you got 3 does go in. 3 times.
I was going to say 15, but that's equal to 45.
Yeah, it's 3 times 14. Does 4 go in? No. Does 5 go in? No. 6 goes in. Then you got 6 times 7. And I believe the rest just gets repeated. So the factors of 42. So you got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14 and 21. So the factors are 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21 and 42.
That's lots.
That's a lot. But we're looking for the common. What's common in between these two? What? They both have 7.
Yeah.
They both have 1, 2, but 7 is the highest common factor. We're looking for the highest common factor. So if 7 is common in both, then we ask ourselves, how many 7s go into 7? 1. How many 7s go into 42? Let's check.
6.
7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then you got 6 underneath here. So that's being simplified. 7 over 42 is equivalent to 1 over 6. Okay?
Yeah.
I hope that's understood. That's how you simplify fractions. We'll do one more example because simplifying is so important. Simplifying, you go from doing it in year 4 all the way until degree level maths. Simplify. You always have to know how to simplify maths. You always know how to simplify fractions, and you have to know how to do it quickly and fast and the most efficient way. And I believe this is the most efficient way. Obviously, in the future, when you get really good, you don't have to work out the factors. You'll just know them right up. So, can we please simplify 9 over 9? What's that simplified to?
1 over 1.
1 over 1. That's not that difficult. The factors of a 9 are 1 times 9. So it's just 1, 9. And the factors of 9 are 1 times 9.
And 9.
So it's just 1 and 9. So 9 is common in both.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just the same thing, isn't it? So 9 goes into both. How many 9s go into 9? 1. How many 9s go into 9? 1. So that's just equivalent to 1 over 1. Now, what does 1 over 1 actually mean? Let's get into our next topic. 1 over 1
divided by 1
just means 1 over 1 just means 1 divided by 1. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video. This lesson was too long, so I had to cut it in 2. This is the first part of lesson 3. Just move on to lesson 3 part B, and we will carry on from there. Thank you.